Hi again, everybody. So today we are going to talk about Batman the Long Halloween by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, and a comparison between some of the books. I am a collector, and for good or for bad, that means that I end up with multiple copies of the same story, especially the stories that I really enjoy reading. I have the original 13 issues. The Long Halloween was a 13-issue maxi series, I guess you would call it, that started in October and went one every month and ended in October. And the gist of the story is that there is a murder happening every single month. And each month has a different theme to the murder, thus dubbing this serial killer the Holiday Killer. And so it starts on Halloween. These are the original issues that I've pulled out from my collection. So this is the original cover. Obviously, there was Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, April Fool's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, 4th of July, Roman holiday, Labor Day, and then the conclusion back in October on Halloween again. These stories take place around Batman year 1, year 2, in that time frame. So the very beginning of the Batman, in the beginning of Batman's career. And this is sort of a passing of the torch type of a series. This goes from, in Batman year 1, Batman is dealing with mobsters, organized crime, the Falcone family, the feud between Falcone and Maroni, things like that. So this actually takes place between the fall of organized crime in Gotham to the rise of costumed individuals. The artwork is very, very unique. Very unique to Tim Sale. Something that you either love or hate. I personally love it. I think it's a great style for Batman, especially for early Batman. It's very gritty, very dark, very stylized, and very, very cool. So what we're going to be comparing today is from the original series to the Absolute Edition that is in my collection. And also the recently released Batman Long Halloween Noir Edition. The story's the same throughout. The Absolute Edition, as in all Absolute Editions, comes in a nice slipcase. Sorry, trying to show it to you here. Comes in a nice slipcase. And it's a very thick book. Nicely bound. There's the back cover here. Has the fabric string. But essentially it's the same as the original 13 issues, just collected here. There are some special features in the back, talking a little bit about a synopsis from each of the issues, a little bit of sketches, interview with Tim Sale, don't want to get into the end of the story because I don't want to ruin it for you. But the action figures, so this is the action figures, along with sketches on the side here for the design of the action figures that came out around the same time. And well, that's it until the end of the story. And then at the beginning here, you have a foreword with Christopher Nolan, who directed Batman Begins, which borrows some plot devices from The Long Halloween, including at the very start, I believe, in Gotham City. Which, if you know anything about Batman Begins in the Dark Knight trilogy, in the Dark Knight is, I believe, in Harvey Dent, which is the second movie. The mobs all have to do with Batman Begins, or, you know, Batman Begins takes things from the mob here. But now what you guys are all really interested in, comparing the images. So I'm going to not use the original issues because nothing has changed really from the Absolute Edition to the individual issues, except for the paper quality. The original issues were on a glossy paper, whereas the Absolute is on a more cardstock, matte kind of paper, which I think works really well for it. And so yeah. So I'm not really going to compare too much of the original series, the original issues, compared to the Absolute or to the Noir edition. But I am going to compare the Absolute edition, which is larger, to the Noir edition. Now, the Noir series of books are strictly black and white. So it's as if the drawing was inked, but not colored. So it gives it a much darker feel to it. Same great story, just a different look. Here you can see the team up with Harvey and Batman and Gordon in black and white. Compared to the color version here in the Absolute Edition. So, overall, I'll leave that image there up and compare it directly here. The Noir edition doesn't add much as far as special features or anything that is worth the extra money if you already have either the Absolute or the trades, unless you are loving this Noir series like I am and are looking to collect them. So if you're looking to collect it, it's a great edition. But otherwise, I would say it doesn't add anything new. The Absolute Edition obviously adds some interviews and some sketches and stuff. I wish there were more in there, but, you know, that's what they've chosen. Now, as far as DC goes, their binding issue, there still is slight... there's still a slight binding issue with DC's comics, especially on larger volumes. The Absolute Editions don't have a very nice bind, but they have a nice slipcase. They're oversized, really good for seeing the art. The Noir, you can see on the back here, it is threaded. It will eventually lay flat. There's very little gutter loss, but it's just not quite as nice as Marvel's omnibuses. Not that this is an omnibus, but just the binding is just not top of the line, but it's better. It's certainly better than DC has done in the past, which is good. So they're making improvements. But overall, The Long Halloween, as far as story goes, I think it's a very good story. Out of 5 stars, I would probably give it, I'd say probably like 4 to 4.5 stars. It's one of the better Batman stories, one of the better Batman mysteries. In true Jeff Loeb fashion, there's some things that don't quite add up towards the end. You know, kind of a twist at the end, but still entertaining, worth the read. I would say that you don't need to go, if you're looking for just the story, you don't need to go with the absolute size. If you aren't into this noir style, I would stay away from it. But if you love the story like I do, if you love, if you're a collector like I am glad that I have both of these in my collection. This also adds a lot to my Noir and Unwrapped series that I have, which is just a different feel for the comics. The oversized Absolute editions are great for artwork, and they just look great on my shelf. Both of these look very good on my shelf. So, like I said, story-wise, 4.5, 5 stars. Artwork, you're either going to love Tim Sale or you're going to hate his art. It's just the way it is, but I personally think it works really well with Batman, especially this type of a Batman story. So, I recommend The Long Halloween as a Batman story. As far as these 2 editions, certainly for collectors, probably only, but still very cool. If you're looking for just the story, download it or buy a trade paperback or something. But definitely a good read, and definitely cool to see these 2, I think, compared side by side. Alright, thanks y'all. I'll see you next time.